They say it sniffs the blood first, then the soul. But people don't know that it doesn't just hunt, it waits silently in the darkness until the fear starts sweating from a person's body like molten water. And when that moment comes, no scream can save them, no prayer, no running, because whoever it fixes its gaze on is already dead. And today, I am going to tell you the story that happened years ago in London, in its cold, damp, and lifeless atmosphere on the outskirts of the city, along a desolate, crumbling street where every gas lamp's light dissolves into the mist and the rising damp turns heavy, cold, and reeks of rot, as if the buried corpses beneath the soil have left their stench. And on the side of that street stood a deserted, decaying house whose broken windows did not rattle with the wind, but moaned, walls marked with damp stains and deep cracks in the plaster, as if someone had spilled blood there for decades. And at night, from within came heavy breaths, faint whispers, and occasionally the scratching of some colossal creature. Every room, every floor, every corner felt alive with darkness. Water dripped from the ceilings, and the small fragments of earth on the ground merged with blood. With each step, the floorboards groaned, and the air was thick with the smell of sweat and blood. A young photographer named Adrian stepped inside one night, the air so thick that his lungs felt crushed, the floor not only wet, but sticky, thick and coated in a substance like coagulated blood. With every step he slipped, and through the mist, two red ember-like eyes appeared, towering far above the ground, unmoving, just staring, measuring the terror of their prey. Then fiery claw marks began appearing on the floor, one after another, and with each step, the stains of blood multiplied, dark, deep, and viscous, as if each drop was screaming. Then a sudden scream, piercing, agonizing, echoing through the air, only to be cut abruptly, as if someone had burned the sound in mid-air. The next morning, the street was smeared with blood, walls carved with long gashes, some stones broken, yet no body remained, only small pieces of flesh and long drag marks vanishing into the mist. Fear spread throughout the city. Dogs stopped barking at night, horses whinnying without reason, and many swore they had seen a massive black shadow standing still in the darkness, as if it were not alive, but merely a silhouette, its nostrils twitching, sniffing not the air, but the fear of humans. And when it moved, the ground trembled under its steps. With every step, the smell of blood and the scream of flesh seemed to rise. In every room it would turn and look, sometimes lunging from the ceiling, sometimes digging through the floor. Every moment, Adrian's heartbeat raced. On a stormy night when rain pounded the walls and lightning tore the sky, a passerby saw it clearly, blacker than black, its wet fur steaming, jaw unnaturally long, claws ripping the earth, eyes like molten embers. It lifted its head for a single moment and stared at the human. The chest felt crushed, as if icy claws pressed down. The next moment, the shadow pounced and vanished, and immediately another scream, the sound of flesh tearing, bones splintering, tiny organs scattering across the floor, the boards trembling under Adrian's feet. Every room, every hallway, every ancient floor soaked with blood. The next morning, the corpse was found incomplete, large portions of flesh missing, bones broken, deep claw marks burned into the chest, a face that made anyone who saw it shiver. People bolted doors with iron bars, read prayers in churches, lit fires, yet it did not stop, nor tired, for this hunger was not for food, but born from malice, the ancient predator of darkness that first sniffs human fear, then consumes flesh and soul. and in London's wet and silent nights, the bloodthirsty shadowed being left behind this tale of death, its breath still echoing through window panes, seeping slowly from cracks on the floor, water dripping from the ceiling like sweat or blood, darkness twisting in every room, new bloodstains appearing on floor and walls, every corner still trembling with terror. Every night, when London's fog swallows the streets, the shadow emerges, prowling on the rooftops, hallways, and under doorways, sometimes hiding behind houses, sometimes standing along the streets, its eyes piercing the soul of any human it chooses, first sniffing fear, then claiming the body and soul. Sometimes hearing a scream from a room, sometimes seeing bloodstains stretching from floor to ceiling, sometimes watching old pigeons flap on the ceiling, sometimes creaking old doors slam shut on their own, sometimes lights flicker and die, and at every moment the house breathes blood and fear, every shadow, every sound alive, and even today, people still call it by the same name, remembered forever in history and the world of fear, Black Shuck.